Hello, greetings, world. So, the talk I want to give today is what is spirituality and what's the difference between religion and spirituality, and why is there so much division with religion and so many people shun away from it or have confusion about it, and why do some religions say they know the way and others don't? To start, there's been thousands of people have been killed in the name of religion, going as far back to the beginning when it all started, probably thousands of years ago, when some people started to believe they knew the way, and if others didn't follow them, they were killed. So all of this stems from the human ego. And when the ego thinks that it is superior to another being in any way, then it is like it's like a spirit that has possessed that person to do wrong, to do bad things, because the person might not even be entirely a horrible person, but they may do something really bad and harmful to another human being or an animal or nature because of their own ego. So the ego is like a parasite that takes over that person's body and mind and soul and gets them to do things that are bad and awful and wrong, and even kill people in the name of belief system, right? So the ego works through a belief system, and it's when the person has some belief system that's usually put upon them by their parents or by some doctrine of teaching. It could be a church, it could be a college, it could be many different things, a cult, that gives this person some kind of belief system that then they believe that they are superior to others in some way. Racism is another prime example of this, that people have killed other races and done a lot of bad and wrong to other human beings just because of their skin color. And why would such horrible crimes be done? Just because of someone's skin color? It's all from the human ego. It's all when a human being's mind has become poisoned with a toxic belief system. And this continues today. And in our day-to-day lives nowadays, it becomes a lot more subtle and not always shown 100% externally that we can notice it right away. But a lot of times, if we're open and aware, then we can see this kind of toxic belief system in people's eyes and in people's persona when we speak to them. We can see that there's something off there. Like, you don't just feel comfortable, like a sense of welcoming kind of friendship vibe. You see there's something behind that. Personally, I felt this a lot of times with old friends or different people I haven't seen in a while. When I see them again, I feel like there's something there that is not just like welcoming and, hey, it's nice to see you again. It's some like comparison thoughts or some kind of ego judgment in some way. It's really strange how in the West, more so than the East, that everybody's always has this comparison vibe and trying to make themselves feel better than others. And if they ever feel threatened in some way, like they think somebody's better off for whatever it may be, their partner, their career, or who knows what, then it's like they no longer feel kinship or friendship to you. There's some kind of threat towards their own ego. And so it creates some kind of friction there. I don't know if you ever experienced this yourself, but that's just an example of what I go through. And now that I'm on a pretty strict spiritual path myself and trying to really pursue my own spirituality and share it with others, and some of my own family have really created friction with that and don't agree, and so there's been a lot of conflict even within my own family lately, and it's been very stressful for me and caused a lot of anxiety day after day. Feel like a constant knot in my stomach. But that's life, right? And we all have to go through those experiences. And so about spirituality, what is it, and how can we know the difference between a religion dogma or doctrine and what is true spirituality? How do we know? Well, we can look at quantum physics and we can look at consciousness and vibration. So we may not even have any kind of religious beliefs, and we may be on a better spiritual path than any religion because we just understood science and the law of coherence. Coherence means things that vibrate and work well together. It's not necessarily a spiritual term, but it can be used in science, and that is the nature of reality and God and spirituality and evolving as a soul, is to become more coherent with everything else around you. That means you're not judging anybody anymore. You're just anybody who's doing wrong or you feel are a problem, you pray for them to do better and find a better way within their own heart instead of just condemning them. And you're always trying to help everybody on their own unique paths work together as one. You come to understand that all living beings are one ocean of consciousness. Whether you're a Buddhist, a Muslim, whether you're a cat, a dog, a cow, a pig, a fish, a god in the astral realms, a ghost that's stuck here, still wandering, they are all parts of the same ocean, and they're all valuable and equal in the eyes of our Creator. So until we reach that state, we'll always be stuck in a state of friction and non-coherence, where there's fragmentation inside us because we don't think our reality around us is all one, all connected as unity and working for a greater good. And whatever we think and we believe, that is our reality. So the fastest and quickest way to evolve spiritually and be on the right path is to start looking and seeing everything around you as one, and has a purpose and has a meaning and has value in some way or another. We don't look down upon plants, animals, and any part of our Creator as less than us just because we're a human being, and we do have the highest opportunity to improve our spiritual path that animals don't have. They can't meditate like we can. Doesn't mean that we should look down on them and that we are here to destroy the earth and take whatever resources we want because we're smarter. That's not universal coherence. And even all of the other races around this earth, from other planets, from other dimensions, they understand this law and principle of universal coherence. And this is what God wants. And this is what you can also see in beautiful pictures that use the Fibonacci or the golden spiral mathematics. You can see how everything is kind of connected as one. And in some fractals, you'll see other fractals, and they're all sort of the same fractal working in one harmony together. That's a depiction of the true way the universe was originally created, and it's supposed to all be blossoming like flowers and going closer towards the sun and evolving and growing together harmoniously. But lots of it has become fragmented, and so no longer with the rest of the harmony of the song of life. It's sort of created its own discord and gone on its own path, one way or another, towards darkness in some way, and then continues to create more chaos and more fragmentation. But does that mean that part of the creation is wrong? No, that's also part of the universal harmony of all creation, that everything had a purpose and reason, even if it is creating problems or creating suffering in some way for others. Maybe that had to happen for some reason. I don't have all the answers myself, but I do understand the law of coherence and how the great masters like Baba Sawan Singh, he said that we need to look at everything as happening in divine order and as it's supposed to. And it's not our place to try to go and change everything and think that there is not a creator, spirit or organizer already managing everything, because there is. So our job is to go with it and to become a channel and to help with the rest of the coherence and magic and beauty of creation towards going back to its source, which is the ocean it originally came from. So we can look at spirituality then as vibration, light, and consciousness. And consciousness comes down here to the most primal state in the beginning. Maybe it was a rock. Maybe we all started as rocks, and then we went through all the different forms of life, evolving to one day become a human being. And the human being has the highest form of consciousness on this earth. Maybe there's other beings with higher forms elsewhere, but on this earth, the human being has the highest form of consciousness. Why? So we can try to understand ourselves connected to the higher consciousness, which is God, which is Buddha, which is Allah, right? And that's the main goal and reason why we have a human body. So let's not waste it, and let's practice unity and connection and love for everything around us, and enjoy our own journey before our life is over. So thank you. Share your thoughts, and I'm always interested to hear what everyone else has to say. Namaste.